Have you ever felt like you were being watched even when you were completely alone? In the darkness of the oldest forests, there exists an entity. Tall, skeletal, faceless. He doesn't run. He simply waits. And by the time you see him, it's already too late. No one knows for certain when the Slender Man first appeared. Some claim he's an ancient creature, an interdimensional being. Others believe he was born from the human mind itself, from collective fear, from imagination twisted by centuries of terror. But the name Slender Man began circulating on the internet in 2009 when a disturbing image was posted in a digital editing forum. In it, children were playing in a park, and in the background, a tall figure in a black suit, with abnormally long arms and a completely blank face. No eyes, no mouth, no expression. It was just a hoax, or was it? Over time, stories began to emerge. Reports of missing children, crude drawings showing the same figure, tall, pale, surrounded by trees. Many dismissed it as a modern myth, a creepypasta. But in some towns in the United States, disappearances began to match sightings of skeletal figures lurking in the woods. Police called it coincidence. But the locals knew the Slender Man chooses his victims carefully. Case 1. Lauren Evans, disappearance in Oregon, 2011. Lauren Evans was just 9 years old when she vanished on a cold November morning in Silver Falls, Oregon. It was an ordinary Tuesday. She left for school around 7:45 a.m., as she did every day, wearing a lilac backpack and a jacket with owl patterns. But that day, she never arrived at school. Hours later, when her mother noticed her absence, the police were called. Intensive searches were carried out, and after 2 days, Lauren's backpack was found in a clearing near Trillium Trail, an isolated path deep within the local forest. Inside the backpack was a school notebook filled with disturbing sketches, tall trees, tiny human figures, and at the center of nearly every drawing, a slender being, faceless, with arms stretching to the ground. The final page contained just one sentence, written hastily in a shaky pencil. "He's calling me." No physical evidence, no signs of struggle, only the silence of the forest and the notebook. To this day, Lauren is still missing, but locals swear that, on foggy nights, you can hear a child's voice singing softly among the trees. Case 2. Michael Harlow's Diary, Alabama, 2013. Michael Harlow was a 15-year-old teenager described as introverted, fascinated by urban myths, the occult, and paranormal figures. He lived in Huntsville, Alabama, and often spent hours locked in his room, drawing or researching supernatural tales. For weeks, he told his family about nightmares. He dreamt of a faceless man standing in the woods behind his house. At first, his parents blamed it on an overactive imagination. Then came the sleepwalking episodes. Michael was found 3 times wandering at night in the garden, always headed toward the dense woods at the back. On the 13th of April, 2013, he disappeared. His bedroom window was wide open, and barefoot prints led from the porch into the forest, then abruptly stopped, as if he'd been swallowed by the night. Weeks later, a local hunter found a notebook buried beneath dry leaves nearly 2 kilometers from the Harlow home. It was Michael's diary. Inside were dozens of pages filled with paranoid notes, obsessive drawings of trees and eyes, and detailed records of sightings of the Slender Man. The final entry read, "Today he came closer. There's nowhere left to run. Maybe this is for the best." Michael's body was never found. Case 3. The Waukesha Girls, Wisconsin, 2014, real case. Unlike the other stories, this one isn't just a legend. It truly happened. On the 31st of May, 2014, 2 12-year-old girls, Morgan Giza and Anissa Wire, lured their classmate Peyton Leutner into a forest in Waukesha, Wisconsin. There, they stabbed her 19 times with a kitchen knife. Peyton miraculously survived, even though she had been left for dead. She stumbled out of the woods and was rescued by a passing cyclist just in time. The motive behind the crime shocked the world. The attackers claimed they wanted to become proxies of the Slender Man, servants or allies of the creature, and that they could only do so by offering a sacrifice. They said they believed he lived in a mansion hidden in the forest, and that by pleasing him, they could go and live with him. The case ignited global debate about the impact of the internet on impressionable young minds. Morgan was later diagnosed with early-onset schizophrenia. Both girls were sentenced to long-term stays in psychiatric institutions. Years later, Peyton, the survivor, stated, "What scares me the most is knowing that, even without a face, he was real to them." The Slender Man doesn't speak. He doesn't run. He appears at the edge of your vision, like a shadow among the trees. His prey is often children and lonely youths, especially those who spend too much time in front of screens. Some say he feeds on fear. Others believe he steals souls and traps them in a world of shadows, where time stands still. Some victims claim to have seen him in dreams, as if he can cross dimensions. Reports still surface. People claim sightings in forests across the United States, in Germany, even in rural Brazil. He appears when you're alone, tired, when your mind is vulnerable, when you stray from the group, or when you believe it's just a story. But be warned, because the moment you hear about the Slender Man, he begins to notice you. And now that you know about him, perhaps is already watching. If you're walking through the woods and feel a chill, don't look back, don't run, close your eyes, and hope that he isn't there. Subscribe for more chilling tales and unexplained mysteries. But beware, some legends prefer silence.